G'day everybody, my name is Elliot Waters and you're listening to the Dysregulated podcast. As always, thank you for tuning in. Righto, so I've just come out of a 4-day depression. I don't know what kicked this off, but I have spent 4 days in bed, just unable to move, just hiding under the sheets. It was just horrendous. Sweating, had all the sweats happening again. Just could not stay out of bed. If I got out of bed for a drink of water, I'd like literally run back into my room and jump into bed. I have no idea what this phenomena is all about, but it's not me being, or not just, I don't think, me being tired. I think there's more to it, but I just don't know what this more to it is because this keeps happening. But this one was particularly bad, really bad. And the reason why it's so frustrating, there's a few reasons, but one of the main ones is that this keeps happening on my days off. It doesn't happen as much, anywhere near as much when it's work days. It's almost like I give everything I've got Monday to Saturday and then I completely collapse Sunday, Monday, and then try and get moving again Tuesday. But this time it went a little bit longer, which is just great because I had a 3-day weekend which was completely wasted by being in bed. So, really not good. So I don't know what's causing it, if it's this being sort of so fatigued and flat out all the time that it just gets too much. And by the end of the week, I fall in a heap. I don't know. I don't know if it's like just pure depression, a symptom of depression, or if this is more a side effect of something else. I don't know. And unfortunately, doctors and that don't seem to know either. But it's unbelievably frustrating because I missed out on quite an important meeting at the university about this research program that I'm a part of. I had to skip that because I couldn't get out of bed. I was also meant to present at the Healthy Minds Summit by HMRI, which is the Hunter Medical Research Institute, a great honour, and I had to miss that too because I could not get out of bed. I was absolutely petrified. It's like I get in this completely different mind state where it's like, okay, I'm in depression mode, the button's being pushed, and I don't know, I feel colder. I get very snappy. I have no fuse at all. And, ask me a question. It's like, oh, stop asking me questions. I don't want to talk about anything. I wouldn't say it's like a different me, but it certainly is a different flavor. That's for sure. And I don't particularly like this flavor because it's not enjoyable at all. And I don't achieve things I need to achieve, which I think is also part of the reason why the sweats happen, because it's a panic attack. I think this component at least is a panic attack. As a result of knowing that there's things I should be doing, but not having the capacity to do it. And that's sort of anxiety in a nutshell in some ways as well. So, but why do these things start in the first place? I do not know. So, for example, I went to Sydney. So I drove to Sydney 2 hours from Newcastle to watch the mighty Newcastle Knights beat the South Sydney Rabbitohs. This was Saturday night. After work, I went down. And it was on the drive home that I felt like, I think I even said it out loud. I was like, oh, something's happened here. There's been a shift. Why have I got all this negative emotion? Even though the mighty Newcastle Knights won and won well, I should have been over the moon. But for some reason, I started getting this feeling that things were not particularly good. Now, this was coming off a 5 a.m. week where I start work at 5 a.m. And it rolled into Saturday and then went to Sydney and was driving back late Saturday, so it was early Sunday morning. So I thought, okay, I'm just overtired and need to sleep. But then I slept for like 2 days without a break and didn't even realise and wake up and totally disorientated, thinking, what time is it? What day is it? How long have I been in this comatose state for? Wouldn't have a clue because I'm just completely knocked out. So I don't know if that tells me I need to be sleeping more during the week or if my sleep quality is so poor that it just builds up and up through the week. And then when it gets to the weekend, I'm sleeping for 3-4 days because I need to sleep for 3-4 days. I don't know. It might be as simple as that. But if that's the case, well, then my sleep needs to be looked at, which is what I want to do moving forward is finally do a proper sleep test and just sort of rule that one out as a possible contender for why on earth this keeps happening. But it was very weird. I was driving back from Sydney. I was like, there's been a shift here and I cannot put my finger on why the shift has come about, but it's definitely there. It's real. It's tangible. I'm feeling it right now. And for some reason, I'm starting to freak out, man. I'm starting to freak out. So that was driving back from Sydney after a great Newcastle Knights victory. So imagine if they lost, it would have been terrible. I always say it, And it's true, the Newcastle Knights are my best antidepressant when they're winning, but also such a stimulus for pain when they're not. The bearing that club has on my mental health is immense. But for some reason, it wasn't enough this time to keep those negative feelings away. And unfortunately, I slipped into this spiral, this depression. Wasn't achieving what I wanted to achieve, missing goals and appointments. And, I missed a psychology appointment as well, which is a shame because I've got to pay full price anyway. So there's $220 I'll never see again. It's just a nightmare. And it's not because I didn't want to go to therapy. I do want to go to therapy. Man, get me there every day if I could afford it. I want to get over this garbage. But yeah, not this time, not this week. It has been a shocker. But then as soon as I go into it, I seem to come out of it again. After 4 days, all of a sudden I'm starting to feel a bit better. Go to work, get through work and then it's like, all right, I'm back on even footing here. This is good. I just need to figure out a way to stay on the even footing because I can't keep doing this. I can't keep working. And then when I finally get my days off, just sleep it all away because then it feels like I'm just working 24/7 and it's not a good feeling, as I'm sure we would all attest to. That is not good. Don't live to work. It's work to live, or whatever that saying is. And that's what I need to try and do. But this weekend, I'm going to really try hard. So I've got a gig on Saturday night in a Oasis tribute band. And then I have the Knights are playing a double header, the women and the men here at home here in Newcastle. So they'll be on the Sunday. It's a full day there commitment. And I'll be yelling and losing my voice there, which will be fun. So I've got things planned because there's still a part of me that wonders, is it because I didn't have things planned and I was like, I could sort of relax and then relaxed a bit too much. Maybe because I've got things planned and it's planned with people as well. So it'll keep me accountable. Maybe that will ward off the need for this extra sleep, this hiding from the world business, these not doing me justice at all. Because if that's the case, well, then I just need to really start cramming my life with things to do just so I keep ahead of the curve. But I've got to figure something out because I'm sick to death of just wasting these beautiful days because the weather's starting to come good. I think the brutal winter is finally over and I want to get out there, get a bit of vitamin D and actually enjoy things. But to do so, I need to be out of bed. So I don't know. Unfortunately, that's the latest on that one. Not great news to report. But what I do have great news to report is that the first intake interview has been completed. The first interview is done. I just need to edit it down a little bit and then it will be coming up on the airwaves. I'm so excited because seriously, my story is so boring compared to everyone else. It is unbelievable. The insights that I'm going to bring thanks to my amazing guests and their ability to be so vulnerable and explore all these different, in a lot of cases, negative aspects of life and what that means and how we're trying to cope. It's so brave of my guests to be able to do this. And I'll tell you, the first episode with Stell, who I met in group therapy for borderline personality. It was dialectical behaviour therapy, DBT. So I go back years with Stell and we know our story pretty well. And it's funny, what's really good, I think the episode sort of showcases how, although we come from very different angles, we still sort of, manifest the same thoughts and behaviours and cognitions, which goes to show how broad borderline personality disorder really is. It's not just one type of personality so much. There's 156 different combinations that there can be of the DSM criteria, which is what people use to diagnose people with mental health concerns. So there's 9 criteria and they can be any sort of combination. There's got to be 5 of the 9, 4 of the 9, 5 of the 9. I think it's 5 of the 9. You can have any different combination. And if you work that out, it's 156 different combinations. So Stella and I, we're very, very similar in some ways, but the way that we've got to that place is very, very different. And I think it's going to be so insightful. And I'm telling you, you'll listen to a story and be like, man, this she's pretty cool, She's putting up with a lot, but man, digs in and just keeps pushing. I love it. And I love that I get to bring her on the show. It just, I don't know. I just think it's going to be so beneficial. And she said it was beneficial for her too, quite cathartic. So that's always good as well. So that is coming soon. So it's not all bad news. It is on its way. And I'm so, so excited because I've got a whole list of people who have reached out and want to get interviewed. And I don't know, I thought I did okay as the interviewer. I guess, I'm always looking for feedback. So let me know how you or what you think of it, but at the same time, yeah, I think it went okay. She was brilliant. I think I did enough. So, it's really exciting. It's really cool. So that is coming soon. The intake interview series. Get ready, because it's going to shine a light on mental health like it's never been shone on before. You think my story's good. I'm telling you, I'm boring compared to these amazing guests, and I can't wait to bring you their stories, which need to be heard as well. Definitely need to be heard. All right, thank you, everybody. That's enough for me. Thank you for listening, as always. If you're enjoying the show, feel free to like, subscribe, give the show a great rating, and you can share it around with your mates. And you can follow me on Instagram at elliot.t.waters. Until next time, see you later.